right? And to kind of give a rundown, right? Because I was thinking about something. I'm like, in my opinion, when was Drake's last good album? And what I mean by that is my personal favorite. Because there was a point where Drake was, in my opinion, unstoppable. And it was album after album after album where he was just dropping pure heat. Then it got to a point which kind of makes sense. This is where I started to put two and two together, where he started beefing with UMG. So I'm gonna give a rundown of some of his albums, and I guess I'll let you know where I felt he kind of started dropping off. So yeah, So Far Gone, Thank Me Later, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This Is Too Late, What a Time to Be Alive, Views, More Life, Scorpion. I'm going to stop right there. Scorpion was 2018. Then after that, you had Care Package, which Care Package was basically an album of leaked Drake songs over the years and also songs that he's released that never made albums. Okay. That right there to me was kind of like, okay, we see what you're doing. You're just trying to put these songs together and basically throw it on a album and, get those streams up. Right? Understand what he's doing. I don't consider it an album, but it's still technically classified as an album, so I got to treat it as an album. Um, a few notables on the song, a few notable songs on that album, by the way. The Motion, How About Now, Trust Issues, Draft Day, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, which is one of my favorite timestamp Drake songs. And then, I think that's second, my all-time favorite timestamp Drake song, 5 a.m. in Toronto. That's also featured on it. Club Paradise, Jodeci Freestyle. Those are just a few songs to name that were featured on this Care Package, which are songs we've heard before, but are now kind of made it onto the album. We're going to package this together, quote unquote, the name Care Package, and we're going to put this out there to stream. That was 2019. Dark Lane demo tapes, which was 2020. So this was during the COVID era. Wasn't a fan of this. This album was basically leaked, a lot of leaked songs that Drake had, a lot of throwaways. These were also songs that have been titles, or these would have been songs that would have been featured on some of previous Drake albums, never made it. Again, what we're going to do right now, we're dominating the streaming game. It's COVID. Everybody's locked in the house. We're going to package everything together. We're going to throw it out on streaming services and we're going to get these streams up. Right? Again, a few notables on this. His big song that went number one, Tootsie Slide. You had Pain, 1993, which was featuring Playboi Carti. You had Chicago Freestyle, which was featuring Giveon. So, I mean, you had a few notables on there, but there wasn't anything much to talk about with this. This, to me, seemed more like a mixtape, hence the name Dark Lane Demo Tapes. Wasn't a fan of it. CLB. Let's talk about CLB, which was 2021. And this is where kind of the peak Drake versus Kanye beef was going on. I was not a fan of this at all. There were good songs on there, don't get me wrong. Like you had Girls Want Girls, which was featuring Lil Baby. You had Fair Trade with Travis Scott. You had Knife Talk with 21 Savage and Project Pat. I mean, you had quite a few notable songs. But again, I did not get that cohesive album feeling from Drake. I got more of a mixtape or a playlist where I'm going to get this, 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 and this. I'm going to throw it together, package it together, throw it on streaming services. We're going to call it a studio album, and there you go. To me, that's not reasonable enough. And again, you kind of put two and two together. This was the kind of the peak of the Drake and Kanye battle, which ultimately was during that time where Kanye was releasing Donda. So they were sending shots back and forth. It was an interesting time for Drake and Kanye. If I were to pick a favorite between the two albums, Donda and Certified Lover Boy, CLB, I would 100% pick Donda. Way better album. So that was CLB 2021. You had Honestly Nevermind, which was 2022, which was Drake's dance album. I like dance music. You just have to be in the right setting and the right mood to listen to it. You can't go for a drive and listen to dance music. You got to be on a beach. You got to be on a rooftop. You got to be somewhere. You got to be in the right setting for that. And I think a lot of people, which by the way, Honestly Nevermind was a surprise drop. A lot of people were like, what is this? This is Drake's worst album. And it's like, well, number one, he was catering to a certain audience, which was to the dance kind of audience. And I think, listening to it at a 12 a.m. drop in your headphones is not going to cut it. You need to be in that setting of outside somewhere to hear it. I wouldn't say I love the album. I like the album. It was a good album. But for me, it was so-so. Then you had Her Loss, which was featuring 21 Savage as a joint album. I actually really liked Her Loss. In my honest opinion, Her Loss, I was okay without 21 Savage on it. I'm going to be honest. I was okay without him on it. There are quite a few notable songs, like Major Distribution by Drake. What else was there? Jumbotron Poppin'. Like, there were a few that were, like, they were heat. And there were some other songs that featured both of them, Drake and 21, that I was cool with 21's parts. But then when it came to Drake, it was like, okay, come on. Like, this is what we're talking about. So yeah, that was Her Loss. I like the album. I really did. For all the for all the dogs, Scary Hours edition, and then you had For All the Dogs. Wasn't a fan of it. Again, to me, it seemed like a playlist album. It seemed like we're gonna grab this, and this. We're gonna put it together, package it together, and there you go. Again, we got notable songs. We had First Person Shooter, which we all know started the whole beef, right? So there's quite a bit that album will always be significant with Drake because that's what prompted the beef, right? Which First Person Shooters featuring J. Cole. So, yeah, not the biggest fan of it. It was a good album, but does it have replay value for me? No. I go back to listen to certain songs. I don't go back to listen to the entire album from start to end. And then obviously Drake's most recent album, which was featuring Party Next Door, which is Some Sexy Songs for You. Again, we know what the album was supposed to do. It did what it did. We know it was meant to be an album for the ladies. It was meant to be an album that, you got Drake, you got Party, and we're just going to give some songs for the ladies. And it served its purpose. There's some good songs on there. Obviously, one of the most notable songs, which is Drake's solo song on the album, which is Nokia. We know what that did. But again, it's a cool album. Would I go back and listen to the entire album? No, but I'll go back and listen to specific songs. So, yeah. So, giving that rundown of Drake's discography from basically Scorpion up until his last album, which was the joint album with Party Next Door, there has been a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of losses versus wins. So that's why I think for me, this is a highly anticipated album for Drake. I'm definitely gonna be tuning in. I want to hear what he has to say. a lot of people are going to be tuning in. But I think again, as a Drake fan, and I say Drake lost the battle. He lost the battle with Kendrick, fair and square. But I'm still a Drake fan, and I am okay to say that because at the end of the day, I'm being subjective. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be a stan. I'm going to say again how I feel. And part of being a fan of music and a fan of an artist is you have to be transparent. Right is right, wrong is wrong, good is good, bad is bad. Call it as it is. So I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to be listening. I think, this is going to be a great album. And I'm just interested to see where Drake goes with this. I think he has essentially every opportunity to do what he wants to do with this, despite his grievance with UMG. I think Drake is in a position where, regardless of the outcome of the lawsuit, I think he's going to do what he has to do. I don't think he's going to shy away. I don't think he's going to do anything that, is going to jeopardize his opportunity of having a number one album and potentially having number one songs. We're used to Drake running the charts. We're in a weird position where we're not used to seeing Drake not running the charts. Nokia never went number one. No, in a perfect world with the UMG backing, Nokia goes number one without a doubt. Nokia didn't go number one. What does that have to say? So I think Drake's going to do everything in his power to say, well, if the label's going to be over here, I'm going to be over here. I'm going to do my own thing because I got the money. I got the creative control. I got the power to do what I want to do. So let's see. With that being said, I'm tuning in, Drake. I'm listening. As soon as that album drops, 12 a.m., I'm listening.